We're now going to look at request management and song order. So most software uses a rotation-based system that is centered on the singers and the order in which they come in. Songboss uses a more advanced system, but it's very important to know the difference. The system that Songboss uses is based on rounds rather than a rotation. So it's based on the requests themselves rather than the singers. So this allows us to do a lot more things with our rounds, with our request management. However, it's very important to understand the difference between a rotation and a round-based system. So let's have a look at the singers that we have in at the moment. So we've got Tuxter, Henry, Larry, Benny, and Harry all in our system waiting to sing songs. Let's have a look at what happens when we add a singer. So if Kelly comes along and she wants to request a song, I add Kelly, I search for a song for her, and when we select that song, of course it goes into a singer queue, and you can see it also goes to the end of the current round. Because Kelly hasn't sung before, it's important that she goes to the end of the current round rather than having to wait for singers in front of her to sing, then sing again, and then finally be her turn, because she would see other singers sing twice before her turn, and that wouldn't be fair. So she gets added to the end of the current round. Now, if Kelly wants to request another song, she can do so, but this time, you notice when I add a song, she doesn't go to the end of the current round, she goes to the end of the next round. So far, this is very similar to a rotation-based system. But there will come a point when it wouldn't be fair for a new singer to walk in the door and immediately go to the end of the current round, particularly if we've sung through nearly the whole round and we're right near the end, because that would mean the first singer, in this case Tuxter, may have put his song in 15 songs ago. He's sung his song, he's been a good patron, he's been at the bar, ordered a meal, whatever it is, and he's patiently waiting for his turn to come up. At that point, it wouldn't be fair if somebody just walked in the door and immediately went up on stage for their turn. This is totally at the discretion of the KJ, but given the night and the flow, you'll sort of figure out at what point do you think it wouldn't be fair to allow new singers to go straight to the end of the current round. And that's what this lock and unlock button is for. So because this is a round-based system, the locking of a round is very, very important. So let's say this is a much longer queue. Perhaps we have 25 in there and 20 of them have already been sung. It wouldn't be fair now for somebody to go straight in front of all those people who have been waiting. If I lock that queue, that means no more requests can go into this queue, whether it's an existing singer or a new singer. So let's see what happens when we add a new singer. So Andrew comes in, he wants to put in a song, and you'll see Andrew is placed at the top of the next round. At this point, that's not very much different to being put at the bottom of the current round. The important thing happens now when we add another singer. So Andrew came in with his friend Peter, who also requested a song. And you'll notice when I add a song for Peter, he actually got interleaved into the next round. So this is the fairest way. So at this point, we don't want Tuxter to have to wait any longer. He's already waited 15 songs. He's been a good customer. Andrew and Peter have only just walked in. So what we do is to make it as fair as possible, they go into the next round, but they're interleaved. So when a new singer comes into the room, we have a new singer, followed by an existing singer from the previous round, followed by a new singer, and so on. So every time we add a new singer, they get interleaved throughout the next round. Now, what makes the rounds so much more powerful than a rotation is that these two rounds work completely independently. So in the first round, for instance, the current round, I see Harry's here. Harry is before Kelly in both rounds at this point in time. We go to call up Harry, but he's gone to the bathroom and he's going to be back in a minute. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll move Harry down one spot, let Kelly sing, and then Harry can sing when he gets back. But the thing to note is changing it in the current round doesn't change it in the next round. He can maintain his position. Or we can move things around. We have the freedom to change the next round any way we like. So let's say we had the interleaving, but we really want Tuxter to sing next because he's been waiting a long time, he needs to go. We'll just pop him up one spot there. And so now, again, we can work on the next round completely independently of the current round. And you have the power to make it work however you like to work, to your workflow. But the power of Songboss is it will initially try to do it the fairest possible way so that you don't have to worry about that. And if you need to change it, you can. So we'll have all unique singers in the current round and all unique singers in the next round. But if you wanted to change that for whatever your reason, let's say we want Tuxter, or let's change it to Peter. We want Peter to sing next, even though, I'll pick another one, sorry. We'll go with Tuxter. We want Tuxter to sing next, even though he has already sung in the current cue. We can use toCurrent, move him across and move him up, and he is now the next singer, even though he has already sung in this cue. By default, that wouldn't be fair, so we don't do that, but as the KJ, you have the power with this system. You can change it however you like. We can move Tuxter back over there, and if we have a singer that has more than 2 songs, we can also move them from the current cue over into the next round. So you have the power to move them around however you like.